think God exists?
Yes.
Who do you think God is?
I think God is just a spirit, possibly, that lives possibly within everything on earth. I don't believe it's like a man or a woman. I just believe it's a spirit that doesn't have any gender or any race or any bias or anything. That just gives us the standard for living, and that gives us basically a code of ethics that we need to live by.
Were you raised to believe that, or
Yes.
have you drawn that conclusion?
I was raised to believe that.
Okay. So your house was, what label would you put on it?
Baptist.
Baptist.
Yes.
And they taught that.
Yes.
That doesn't sound Baptist to me.
I know.
You know. Because Baptist would say it's Jesus
Right.
is the standard of truth, the way,
Right.
the truth, and the life.
Exactly.
Do you reject that?
I don't reject it. I just don't necessarily believe I have enough knowledge on the fact to conclude, to approve of it or to reject it.
Did you go to youth group when you were young?
I went when I was from 5 to about 8.
5 to your 8?
Yes.
Okay. And did they teach you about Jesus there?
Yes.
Okay. But right now, you've
Yes.
kind of moved away from that.
Right.
What led you to change your mind or move away from that system of beliefs?
I believe it was just a lot of possibly pressure from a lot of Christian groups saying like certain things are wrong and like, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, and they're just putting a lot of outside pressure on you to, I guess it's like how they say, like the Westboro Baptist Church, you know, how they say a lot of things like
God hates fags.
right. And so I guess a lot of that kind of like took away from what I believed in.
Now, just as an aside, do you know how big the Westboro Baptist Church is?
No.
It's like a family of about 15 people.
Oh.
Even a church, it's like a weird little cult
Yeah.
of angry people. I've actually spoken to them before. They're
Right.
just filled with anger.
Oh.
It's like the opposite of Christian.
Right.
So, but their behavior
Right.
caused you to go, you're not interested because you associated them with Christianity.
Yes, and a lot of other people outside of them, like saying like, oh, if you don't go to church every Sunday, then you're not a true Christian. And if you don't know the first verse, then you're not a true Christian. And I even remember when I was baptized and I told my friend, and she said, well, you don't know the first verse in the Bible, so you're not going to heaven.
Oh.
And so that kind of strayed me
Yeah.
from the Christian church.
Maya, I'll ask you a specific question about your former Christian faith.
Right.
There's a word, gospel. What is the gospel according to Christianity?
I honestly do not know.
Okay. All right. Means good news. Yeah. So what's the good news of Christianity?
I believe just faith in God
Okay.
is the good news. Also, a belief in better life and restoration
Okay.
from sin.
Tell me what you think of this concept. That you and I are made, fashioned together by God. We break his laws. We break his rules, like lying or stealing
Right.
or lusting or murder, just being angry in your, like the Westboro Baptists.
Right.
Jesus said you're committing murder in your heart
Right.
because God sees the intentions of our heart.
Right.
Because God is holy and just and righteous. He's appointed a day to judge the world in righteousness. And we will stand before him, guilty criminals, and God will give the sentence of guilty. And we will have to pay the fine for our crimes against the sovereign of the universe.
Right.
That's a horrifying thought because we've all done all those things.
Right.
The good news, the gospel, means that Jesus Christ is God, came to this earth and took the punishment that you and I deserve by being hung on a cross and killed by men. He was receiving the wrath that you and I deserve so that our slates could be wiped clean, so that we could be completely forgiven. We're condemned because of our sins. We're forgiven and set free because of Jesus. That's the good news of the gospel. That's what's called the gospel. Christianity is not about being good. Okay? Christianity says we're not good.
Okay.
But Jesus is, and he forgives us, and he died for us while we were sinning and rebelling against him. And now we desire to do good.
Okay.
We don't get to heaven because we're good. We get to heaven because we've been made good by Jesus. And now, out of love and gratitude, we strive to follow him. Because heaven has been earned for us, not so that we can earn heaven. Okay? It's the difference between works and grace.
Okay.
Christianity is about grace.
Okay. Thank you so much. I feel like God sent you here to tell me that.
I don't think I was supposed to be there. I know I was supposed to be there because I was there. Mom, Dad, please make sure, show your child Jesus, but don't stop when they confess Jesus. Teach them more and more and more about Jesus, so that not only will their soul be right, but their thinking will be straightened.